Okay, so thank you everybody for joining us. We are in week 2, and I know it's like, wow, we're just getting started at Georgian College, and we're in week 2. Time will fly. We're going to get to the midterm, and you will say to yourself, where did the time go? So just so you're aware of that, and we'll get to the final, and you'll think, wow, where did time go? So try to keep on top of the readings and the materials and the quizzes. Quizzes are open until the end of the semester. However, you want to start doing them sooner rather than later. We have significant, I've looked at the trends since I've done these quizzes, and students who perform the quizzes do significantly better on the midterm and the final exam than those who do not. And it's not just that, it's students who do the quizzes as they become available because they have more time to get more attempts in and to review the material and understand it better. So let's move on. Oops, didn't want to do that. That's okay. So we're going to go through some announcements, and after the announcements, then we will talk about cellular organization. So there is an anonymous course survey. When I taught this course in person, what I would do is to get everybody pull out a piece of paper and write down answers to some questions, like basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but we can't do that. So this is on the course Blackboard site. It is under assignments and tests. I'm asking that you would complete this survey by 11:59 Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, September 19th. So that's this Sunday coming up. Complete it by midnight Eastern Standard Time. It gives me insight into the students in this course as a whole. Now, all the individual responses are anonymous. So what you write as an individual person, I cannot identify. However, it will give me basically the results. So if we have all 100 students complete it, I will get 100 results. 4 of the 6 questions are multiple choice. 2 of the 6 questions are basically short answer, like fill in the blank type questions. And basically, it just helps me to address any of your concerns, anything you're excited about, and talk into that and helps guide me to guide you. So it's a tool that I use to help teach. Quiz number 2 is going to be available this Friday at 4 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. It will be on Blackboard. It will be either 20 basically 20 questions. Majority are going to be multiple choice. You may have some true false in there. You have 30 minutes to complete. However, you have unlimited attempts. All of the quizzes combined will account for 10% of the final course grade. And this will be available until 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday, December 17th, which is the last day of the semester. And as an assignment reminder, part 1 is due on September 21st at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There is now in tests and assignments an area where you can submit this assignment, and it has instructions with it. Remember also you need to complete the academic integrity module to gain access to the basically you need to complete the academic integrity module in order to get your grade for the assignment. The first assignment is only worth 2%, but it should be probably the easiest 2% you'll get this semester. And as a reminder, for the first assignment, you go into the Georgian College Library website, you type in a topic related to human physiology, and then with your results, take a screenshot of that. And then you find 2 articles and you download those 2 articles, any 2 articles you want. It's going to be 4 pages. First page is a title page with your name and student number. Second page is a screenshot of your search results. Third page is a screenshot of the first page of your first article. And the fourth page is a screenshot of the first page of your second article. And just to give an idea about research article reviews, you can look up a number of articles and then basically the idea is by the end of this diploma, if not this course, you should be able to at least review the abstract of an article and give a summary of what that article is about. So this is one more about education than physiology, but they looked at basically these students in a professional pharmacy degree and basically the association between attendance and overall academic performance. So to give an idea, I went through the study. I skimmed the abstract first, then went through the study. Didn't read it in detail, but enough that I was able to understand basically what they're trying to do. So there is a vast amount of research that demonstrates there's a positive relationship between class attendance and academic performance, right? Positive relationship between class attendance and academic performance. That is, the more classes you attend, the better your grades. Now, this isn't true for absolutely everyone, but there is a significant relationship between the two. There are some people that they can attend all the classes and do very poorly. There are some people that could attend few classes and do very well. But for the vast majority of the population, we're talking about 95% of student population, the more you attend class, the better you do with your grades. And the authors wanted to know, well, is this true for online classes? We know it's true for in-person classes, but is it true for online classes? And what they noted was, yeah, the same trend was noted for population of students in the study during online studies. And they said, yeah, we see the same trend. The more they attend, the better they do. Of the students that they had, and it's students in a program, so not just one class, but they're looking at students in a program, like we said, a pharmacy degree program. 12 students failed at least one course. And they found that if a student attended less than 80% of the classes in a given course, they were more likely to fail. So of the 12 who failed a class, 9 of them had attended 80% or less, or had 79% or less of the classes. So it's something to think about. So a review. Oh yeah, so there's a question in the chat about can you suggest some topics for this? What I would recommend for your, and they're talking about their assignment. So we're flipping back to the assignment. So for the assignment, what I would recommend is basically that you just type in something that interests you. If you're not sure, think of a family member or friend who maybe has a condition or a disease. Maybe you know someone with Down syndrome or cystic fibrosis or asthma, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, they've had a heart condition. Or think of an activity you're interested in, such as hiking, cricket, mountain biking, snowboarding, skiing, ice hockey, whatever the case may be. Type that in and then see what shows up. Re Review of last week. So, yep. It usually says review article either somewhere in the top, or they will say in this article we reviewed other articles, right? Yeah. It's usually in an academic journal. Yep. Okay. We have some people here for a presentation about peer tutoring. Okay, so a review of last week in terms of what we talked about. We talked about basically cells being the basis for life and they're complementary in nature. What does that mean? That the structure of a cell will reflect what its function is, and the function will be reflective of what the structure is for a cell. And this image, this cartoon image we're looking at is basically the bilipid plasma membrane. So if you recall, we have the phosphate heads with the fatty acid tails. The phosphate heads are hydrophilic, they like water. The fatty acid tails are hydrophobic, they repel water, and basically we have two layers of phosphate heads with the fatty acid tails in between. We also have these proteins which are in the plasma membrane, and they can serve various processes or various functions, right? So they could be channels, they could be enzymes, they could be for communication, whatever the case may be. And the plasma membrane is fluid, is a fluid mosaic, so it's not just static, but it's actually kind of moving. And this is really neat when you see computer generated images of the plasma membrane. It's neat to see how we think it operates. In terms of transport, we talked about transport because now you got this plasma membrane, which is separating the inside of the cell and the outside of the cell. And there's passive and active transport. Passive transport, stuff just goes through. We don't need to exert any energy on it. Think the most obvious examples would be oxygen and carbon dioxide. Your body requires oxygen to run the metabolism, to run the machinery of the cell, and it produces carbon dioxide as a byproduct. So oxygen will go in, carbon dioxide goes out. The flip side of that is active transport, where we need to invest energy into moving substances. And the example we gave, the prime example, the one that's been the most studied in science, is the sodium potassium pump, right? So it's going to be pumping basically sodium out, potassium back in, and it's using energy. And of course, we talked about primary and secondary active transport. And just as a forewarning, students get confused on the difference between primary and active, or sorry, primary and secondary active transport. So if you are confused when you come across that topic again, make sure you delve into it a little bit and understand it. So we're going to talk about the organization of the cell. And this is from chapter 3 of your textbook, pages 83 to 110. Now, regardless of whether you have taken a physiology or biology course at college or university, or if you took biology in high school, some of this you will be familiar with. Some parts we will be diving a little bit deeper into with this, and I'm going to try throughout today's explanation to link ties to practical application. Now, as a reminder, here, I'm going to put my annotation on, which means I can make notes, and everything just went black. That's awesome. What do you think about that? Maybe we'll stop annotations. Sorry, just give me a second. Got to figure out where my mouse is. Haha. There we go. Let's stop annotations. Okay, apparently we can't make annotations. Here's my number one tip for first semester students, and you're going to hear this again in second semester, and you'll probably hear it in other courses. If you do not yet do it, start exercising. We see a markable difference between students who are regularly participating in exercising and their performance, both in this course and other courses, and those who don't. Right? This is a fitness and health promotion diploma program. Let's be candid here. Some students have a real strong desire to enter the fitness field. Some students are like, meh, just want my diploma so I can use it to do this, whatever, do something else. That's fine. But I tell you right now, start exercising because I'm going to make references to exercising throughout this. And if you're exercising, you'll be like, oh yeah, I know what he's talking about. Like I know that burning sensation I get in my legs, or I know that kind of like wheezy sensation I get in my lungs, or I know what it feels like when I hit my max heart rate. Um, so start exercising. Do yourself a favor. Do your instructors a favor because it makes it easier to mark. Be like, yes, they exercise. They know how to do a barbell back squat properly. So first off, we're going to talk about the cytoplasm. And last week we talked about the plasma membrane. This is part 2, and this is where we're going to talk about the cytoplasm. So I think I can use one of my, here we go. There we go. Interesting. Sorry, my annotation is being thrown a little bit off. Okay, anyways, we're going to move on. So all cellular material between the plasma membrane and the nucleus is in the cytoplasm. And the cytoplasm is composed of 3 main components. First off, cytosol. Cytosol is a gel-like solution, and it's made up of water, but things that also will dissolve in water. So think of salts, proteins, sugars, whatever the case may be. Sorry, my annotation's still not working. So first thing, cytosol. Second thing, inclusions. Inclusions are insoluble materials. And this will depend on the cell type, but you may have glycogen. So glycogen is a type of sugar. You may have pigments. You might have fat droplets. You might even have crystals, okay? So we have cytosol, we have inclusions. The third thing, which is in the cytoplasm, which we're concerned about, are the organelles. And these are basically the metabolic machinery. So the picture you're looking at right now is basically a artist's impression of what a cell would look like. And all the metabolic machinery that you see labeled there, so you have the nucleus, Golgi apparatus, the ribosomes, the rough endoplasmic reticulum, et cetera, are all the organelles, and these all have a special function. Now, I'm just going to swap, and just as a warning, if you're watching this later, I'm going to switch from one type of recording to another type of recording because the one platform I'm using to record is not letting me make notes and mark up, whereas the other one will. So let's take like a 30-second pause, and we will end this recording. And if you're watching it, there will be another recording for the rest of the class.